Hey there, everybody, and welcome. Well, today, it's been a while. I went through a big move from one house to another. That took up a lot of time. That explains why I haven't posted any videos in a while. But I'm back today with Great Western Trail, Rails to the North expansion. And I am going to be playing a solo game today, a 3-player solo game, and I'm going to be using an automa, or an automa, however you want to pronounce it, that was developed by Brian J. Martin on BGG. His username is Noel Magenta Shag. It works really well, and I'm going to show you today how it works. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm going to assume you have a pretty reasonable idea as to how Great Western Trail plays. This wasn't intended to be a tutorial, but if there's enough demand, I suppose I could turn this into a tutorial, especially as far as Rails to the North is concerned. I'll try to clarify how the automa works without going into too much excruciating detail. I'm going to be doing a pretty quick playthrough today. I'm not going to be concentrating on my best game, but I'm going to try to play a reasonable game, and we'll see how I play it, come up against. Now, I'm going to be playing against 2 automa opponents, Yellow, who's going to be an easy difficulty, and Red set to normal difficulty. I shouldn't have any trouble getting past easy. Normal usually results in a pretty close game. I'm not a super advanced Great Western Trail player, but I can, on a good day, I can certainly beat a normal automa here. So the automa uses a deck of 15 cards. Each AI player, in this case both Yellow and Red, have their own 15-card deck of automa cards, and each automa is assigned a random specialist, be it a cowboy or a craftsman or an engineer. And in the case of the Red player here, the normal player, they will also start the game with 1 engineer or 1 craftsman or 1 cowboy, depending upon what their specialist happens to be. Each card drawn from the automa deck indicates a certain amount of movement, as well as a task that the automa player then performs. So the automa just moves around the trail, but doesn't actually do what's under his pawn, his player pawn, but instead just does what the automa card tells him to do. So it might say take a hazard, or it might say take a TP, or build a building, or hire one of your specialized workers, or maybe hire a cheap worker, or something like that. And eventually it will make its way to Kansas City, where it will deliver to a certain number of different cities in sequence. Now, I should point out that, let's see, of the 15 automa cards, 6 of them apply to specific specialists. So 2 of them say that if you're an engineer, do this. 2 of them say if you're a cowboy specialist, do this. And 2 of them say if you're a craftsman specialist, do this. So obviously, if let's say that the Red player is a cowboy specialist, then 4 of the automa cards, which deal with 2 of which deal with engineers, and 2 of which deal with craftsmen, aren't going to apply to him or her. And in those 4 cases out of 15, that's when the automa is going to place a branchlet using the Rails to the North expansion. And where it places a branchlet, it doesn't follow the branchlet placing rules. All it's trying to do is block me or get in my way when it comes to placing branchlets. It doesn't go in sequence. It just it might on one occasion place a branchlet in a town where it can steal an exchange token, or in another case it might go to a town where it could perform a medium town effect or something like that. So it's just kind of getting in my way. It's just 4 times out of 15 the the Atoma is going to be placing a branchlet instead of doing something like hiring a worker or moving the engine or whatever else it might do. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the specifics about what the Atoma carts actually say and do. I'll put something in the show notes, a link to the solo variant that was developed by Mr. Martin, and you can have a go at it if you want on your own. So the AI, or the Atoma, delivers to a series of cities, as I said, and that depends on what its difficulty setting is. So, for example, in the case of Yellow, who's an easy player here, he's going to first deliver to Colombia. Now, I should point out that the Atomas neither have a deck of cards, there's no cattle involved, nor do they care about money. They don't pay money, they don't receive money. Although if they do land on one of your buildings with a green or black hand, you get paid from the bank. So, as I was saying, the easy player is going to deliver to Columbia, then to Memphis, then to Denver, and Detroit, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Toronto, and finally all other deliveries, if it gets that far, will go to San Francisco. The normal player, in my example, red, is going to deliver to Detroit, then Milwaukee, Green Bay, Toronto, Minneapolis, New York, at which point it will take a station master tile, and then San Francisco for all future deliveries. And there's a hard Atoma as well, which I'm not going to be playing against today because I think I'd probably get creamed. The hard Atoma delivers to Green Bay, Toronto, Minneapolis, Montreal, New York, with all future deliveries going to San Francisco. Any objectives that an Atoma picks up along the way will automatically be fulfilled at the end of the game, so they will score normally. Pretty normally, as far as scoring is concerned. They don't score for the 3 points you get when you take away that second a tile having to do with the number of steps you can take. And they don't score, obviously, for money, but they do score in every other category, and they do assume, like I said, that any objective they pick up, that they will fulfill at the end of the game and score accordingly. Deliveries to San Francisco, instead of being based on the number of revealed bells on your player board, because we're playing with rails to the north, instead, the Atoma will just score 6 VP for every delivery to San Francisco. So, like I said, I'm going to be trying to play relatively quickly to keep the game moving along. No guarantees, therefore, as to how well I do. I'm going to be using all the A buildings. I could change to B buildings if I wanted to, or I could randomize it. I could randomize the placement of the neutral buildings if I wanted to. Oh, it goes without saying, I'm using my computer program today. If you have not watched my channel before, you aren't aware of the fact that most of the videos I do for board gaming involve programs I write for games that I like. So this is a good example of one. Just finished this up the other day. I can't guarantee that it's totally bug-proof, so you might see some mistakes, and if you do, I would appreciate it if you let me know any bugs you saw or any things that it didn't do right in the comments section. But hopefully it works pretty well. So I'm just going to go with the basic neutral buildings, all the A buildings for me. The Atoma always uses B buildings. So you'll see that regardless of what I choose, Atoma player will always build or upgrade B-level buildings. Let's get underway. I am going to be the start player. And so this should look pretty familiar. If you're not used to playing with rails to the north, that's all the rail stuff is happening over here in the top right hand corner. I basically truncated the top of the board and moved the rail section over to here to make better use of my screen. The player board looks pretty much like a player board would look, as you might expect, with a few differences. All the cards in my hand are down here, so it just kind of assumes that I know what a Dutch belt looks like, and you can see it pops up in the top left corner. if there's any question. I get a little calculation here as to what my total breeding value is just for my hand, not taking into account any certificates I might have. These are my branchlets here, all ready to go. This is the add-on that's added when you're playing with the Rails to the North expansion, and this is a new auxiliary power or ability that lets me place branchlets by discarding a value 2 cow from my hand. Everybody starts with, well, not the Atoma player doesn't, but I will start with 1 exchange token, which I can spend at any time. That's going to allow me to simply draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. All the buildings that I could possibly build are all listed down here. Don't know yet whether I'm going to go heavy into building or heavy into cowboys or heavy into engineer. I'll just kind of make a decision once I'm ready to get going. This is going to show my discard pile. So as I discard cards, whatever I last discarded is going to be at the top of the list. So most recent discards will show up at the top. And of course, this will get cleared when I have to, when my program has to automatically shuffle my deck. So you can see I've got 4 cards in hand, 10 cards in my deck. I start with $6 and 1 exchange token and an objective. So anything I collect over the course of the game will show up in this green box. And my starting objective says that I'm aiming to get 2 upgraded train stations and a green teepee, and that will give me 3 points if I fulfill that objective by the end of the game. Obviously, everything else pretty much works the same, and I think we should just get underway at this point. Let's see. I start with 2 Black Anguses, a Guernsey, and a Dutch Belt. Not a perfect hand, but pretty close, and the odds of drawing a Jersey are pretty good. So I'm probably can start, remember on your first turn you can start in any neutral building, so I'm going to probably start pretty close to the end of the trail. Let's see, I do have a Black Guernsey, maybe I can start, and I have 2 Black Anguses, maybe I can start in neutral building E here and buy a cow with my $6 right from the get-go. I think I will do that. So I'm going to move my player pawn to neutral building E. I will discard a Black Angus and gain $2. My program will do all this for me automatically. All I have to do is click the button. And I will buy cattle from the market. I didn't even take a look at what the market is. So we've got 2 Holsteins, 4 Swisses, an Ayrshire, and 3 Texas Longhorns. Because I have 1 cowboy currently, I can buy a value 3 cow for $6, and I will go ahead and do that, and I'll grab the only Ayrshire that's out there. So that's going to be my first turn. Yellow player is going to be moving 1 space on the trail, and is going to be starting off by placing a branchlet, and it places it up in this little station, in this station town up here. Now, okay, well, the red player is also placing a branchlet, and it placed up here in this town, in this small town up in the corner. So this is me, this is yellow. Obviously, you can see yellow has no money or exchange or a deck, and all B buildings. And red, similarly, has no money, no exchange tokens, no deck. But discs, and they'll just take discs off their player board in sequence because they don't care about white discs or black discs for that matter. They're just marking their positions on the board. Now, if red had gone to this station town, red would have upgraded the train station. But because yellow is an easy automa, it does not do that when it places a branchlet. But red will if it does come back to one of these station towns. And you can see that these stations have already been preloaded with station master tiles. This one scores 12 points. There's one over here. Where's the other station? Right here. Okay. Lets you get a free TP or a hazard. And then there are, of course, other station tiles along the trail down here, and 4 of them, the leftovers, are assigned to New York City. So when you do deliver to New York City, you are granted one of these station master tiles of your choice. Okay, so that was, so yellow and red both coincidentally placed branchlets. It's now back to me. And now, so what do I have? So I got rid of an Angus. I did get a jersey. So now I've got as perfect a hand as I can start with. So I think I will go ahead and deliver right away. So I'm not wasting any time. I'm going to go here and then up to Kansas City. And now we have to choose 4 side tiles. I know I need a green TP. There's one out there already. I'll put another one out there and make it more valuable. Then an engineer gets placed because they were both engineers, so my program just does that automatically, and I'll go ahead and place another TP as well. And I'm going to be delivering to Chicago. And I'm going to, for my white disc, I'm going to choose the one for my add-on board. This will let me go to town placing branchlets. I can do a double auxiliary action placing branchlets throughout the rest of the game. So that's the first one I'm going to get rid of. And now it's the yellow player. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm just going to point out that I'm not cheating. I do pay for transport costs. My program calculates those automatically, so it just shows up in the log. I can't not run out of money paying transport costs, so I don't bother indicating what it is. But it's up to me, if I care about transport costs, to make sure my engine is far enough down the train tracks to try to minimize that. Okay, continuing on with yellow, what are you going to do? Moving one more space along the trail and placing another branchlet, this time in this nondescript town. Red is moving 2 spaces and is moving its engine. Okay, so I should point out here, we know now that red is specializing in engineers. It started with 1 extra engineer over and above the one that was on its player board. Yellow, on the other hand, is a specialist in craftsman, but because it's playing at easy difficulty, it did not start with an extra worker. If you're playing in hard difficulty, the specialist starts, the Automa starts with 1 worker, extra worker of its specialty, and an extra worker of one of the other 2 types, drawn randomly. But in any event, let's go back. I think it's the red player's turn. Let's unpause. Okay, so what did everybody do? Red, I wasn't paying attention. So we have 2 yellow branchlets. Red, what did you do? You moved your train along the track. Okay, so because it has 2 engineers, it moved 2 tracks. I'm gonna have to try to be strong in engineers, I think, so I can try to keep up. Because if I don't, red's gonna just steal all the station master tiles. And if you recall, I do have to upgrade at least 2 train stations due to my objective. And I might as well get station master tiles out of that if I can. Okay, so I'm back in Texas here, starting all over again. And maybe this time I'll take it slow. So let's go to neutral building A and hire a worker. I do have a Guernsey. I actually have 2 of them, so I'll discard 1 for $2. I'll hire a worker, and I think I'm going to start with an engineer so I can possibly keep up with red on the train as far as my engine's concerned. Oh, and I've gotten my bonus from the player board that allows me to discard a jersey to advance my certificate marker, which I will go ahead and do. Can't hire another worker, so that's the end of my turn. Yellow is moving 2 spaces along the trail. Now, I should point out that the Automa always takes the shortest path, but when there are 2 paths that are of equal distance, it randomizes which way it goes. So in this case, it might have gone, well, actually, it would not have gone through the drought because that would have added an extra building. So it will, in this case, it's always going to go directly from neutral building B to neutral building C, and again, directly to neutral building E. Okay. It gained an objective, so that's an automatic number of points. Red moved 2 spaces and is placing another branchlet. Oh, and this time in a medium town, but trashing cards, what is that, trashing cards? Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. I might want to take advantage of that as soon as I possibly can. Of course, red doesn't have any cards to trash, so it just occupies a space up in that town. Okay, back to me. I guess I'll go now to building a neutral building B, and I'll get maybe I'll build a toll building. I do have a Dutch belt, and I will build. Well, I'm not gonna. I only have one craftsman, so I'll build. I'll start with 1A, which has a toll, and I'll put it right here after neutral building. What is that? E? Yeah. Yellow, moving 2 spaces along the trail. Now notice that time it could have gone either direction, and it went this way, avoided randomly. That was a random decision on its part. It doesn't intentionally avoid paying me tolls. So if I'm going to want to get more tolls, I'm going to need to make sure that some rockfall tiles get placed here. So I'm going to have to look out for that. Yellow's placing another branchlet. Wow. Red is moving 2 spaces. It went to Kansas City. Gosh, I wonder if this is a bug. This is a lot of branchlets. Okay, so red is delivering to Detroit, where it gets an objective. I should always point out, it always just draws the top row of tiles and places those, and then moves the bottom row of 4-side tiles up to the top. Well, we know that red did move along the tracks here, but this is a lot of branchlets. That just seems like very coincidental. Remember, I only said that 4 times out of 15, it's going to be placing a branchlet. So, and they do have their own decks, which is kind of odd. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Obviously, when an Automa player runs out of Automa cards, it shuffles its deck and keeps on going. Okay, back to me. I am going to move to neutral building C and stop there. So I'm taking the slow boat to China here. I will advance my certificate by 1, and I'll move my engine 2 spaces in an attempt to keep up with red. So I've temporarily taken the lead. Yellow is moving 2 spaces along the trail. That gets it to Kansas City. Okay, it's going to buy a cow in the cattle market. It's buying a brown Swiss. It has special rules about what cows to buy. It basically spends $6. Now red's turn, so it just delivered to Columbia. Red is moving its engine. It's going to probably take this. Yep, it did. It upgraded and took the station master tile. And oh, red is down here. Red's already delivered to Detroit earlier. Okay, so it is back to me. You know what? I might as well go here to neutral building D and grab a TP. It was a green TP, as I recall. Yeah, I needed a green TP. So let's go here, get some extra bucks while I'm at it, and trade with the Indians, and I'll grab this green TP worth $4. And now I'll start placing branchlets, and great, I've got 2 jerseys in my hand. This is perfect. So I'm going to perform a single or double auxiliary action. I am going to be performing a double branchlet action, which is going to discard both of my level value 2 cows. Remember, you have to discard a value 2 cow to place a branchlet. And I'm doing a double, so it's going to discard both of them. And my first branchlet, now branchlets, if you're not familiar with Rails to the North, the rules about branchlets are that they need to be adjacent. They either need to be adjacent to Kansas City, meaning that everybody could start by building in this small town here, or adjacent to some other branchlet or city that you deliver to. So I could always, because I have delivered to Chicago, I could also place a branchlet up in here, or up in here in Milwaukee, which would give me access to Milwaukee. But for the time being, I'm going to go here, and now because I placed here, I can place here because there's a track connecting these two towns, excuse me, and by placing a branchlet in a medium town, I get to do this medium town effect, which is to trash two cards from my hand, and this is great, getting rid of two jerseys right from the get-go. Okay, yellow moving two spaces along the trail. Taking a TP at random, gets the most valuable one. Red moving two spaces. Doesn't always move two spaces. Red's also taking a TP. Almost looks like they're using the same deck, but they're not. Just the way the randomization worked out. Okay, back to me. I guess we're going to go... Am I going to go take another cow? Or am I going to go farther? I don't know the greatest hand. $2 isn't really worth it to me at this point. Let's go all the way up here. I'll discard two jerseys for $4. And I don't know about a hazard, unless there's a really valuable one. Three. Oh, there's a 4-pointer here. I don't know if I want to spend $7 right now. But hopefully I'll have a decent delivery. I do have 2 temporary certificates, so that should help. Yeah, I'll go ahead and remove the hazard, and I'll take an easy 4 points here. Yellow, moving 2 spaces. Taking a hazard. Takes the best one it can find, random to break ties. Red, moving 2 spaces. Okay, now, it should have paid me. I didn't notice. Let's check the log just to make sure that my program isn't cheating me. Red, increased money by 2, paying green hand cost to Larry. Okay, so I'm getting paid when the automas do move through my toll. Okay, it looked like Red just hired a cheap worker. It hired a craftsman. We know that Red is specializing in engineers. At which point, no, it didn't hire a trash. I thought it hired a craftsman, but maybe I wasn't looking. Maybe I was fooled by these craftsmen. Did it hire an engineer? Yeah, it just hired an engineer. Okay, so it basically hired a worker in its specialty. So that's what it'll do a number of times during its play. Okay, back to me with my $3. How's my hand right now? Still not terrific. Let's go to the neutral building G. I'll move my engine 2 spaces. And he's got the train station all bottled up. And now I'm going to be placing some more branchlets. I do have 2 Dutch belts and a Black Angus. I will get rid of both of my Dutch belts to pay for the branchlets. And my first one, I think, will be to this large town adjacent to Milwaukee. So that'll give me an option to deliver them to Milwaukee at some point along the way. And for my second branchlet, you know, I'll get an extra $2 by going here. So this would be a good example of where, because $2 is only available to the first player who goes to this town, it would have been theoretically possible that the one of the automas might have gone there and stolen that $2 bonus from me. Fortunately, it didn't, so I'm going to go there and take that $2. Yellow's turn, moving 2 spaces. Go in the back route. Moving its engine 2 spaces. Red, Kansas City, moving its engine. Oh boy, is it going to get another, yep, another train station. I'm not keeping up, am I? Placing tiles and delivering to Milwaukee, which was second on its list after Detroit. And now it's me, and now I have no choice but to deliver. And what do I have? A 7, 8, 9. This might be a good time for me to use my my exchange token. See if I can improve my hand. Let's see. 7, 8, 9 gets me where? Oh, I certainly don't want to go to St. Louis. Oh, I've got to do better. This is not good. This could be a problem right off the get-go. All right, I'm going to spend my exchange token. I'll draw 2 cards, and then I'll discard 2. Oh, I do have my Ayrshire. That's helping. Okay, great. So I've got a 6-card hand. I can get rid of a Black Angus. I can get rid of a Guernsey. That gets me to 9 and 2 temper. That gets me to 11. That's going to allow me to deliver to Milwaukee. Okay, so phew, that could have been a disaster waiting to happen. We're going to go to Kansas City. I do want a rockfall tile in order to steer my Atoma players to my private building. So I'm going to put out that rockfall, and I'll go ahead and put out another TP. And we're going to go to Milwaukee, and that's going to get me a objective card and $3, which will probably pay for my transport cost. I've got to choose a dark. Could take a dark disc. I think I'm going to take this one. I have the money. I'm going to go ahead and spend this $5 for to increase my hand size to 5. What do I want here? I could take this one, though it only pays $3, 3 points rather. Let's go with this one, because I am planning to visit the cattle market several times, and I've already gotten an Ayrshire, so I've got 1 out of the 3. Oh, that was probably my transport costs. Okay, so it paid $4 in transport costs. So program isn't cheating, and it does check. It does check. When I took this disc, I had to pay $5, didn't I? Let's see. Where are we here? Deliver cattle. Okay, remove player disc. Left disc for hand size. This would have. What's going on here? So I got $11. I got $11 for my breeding value, but 5 of that got taken away for the disc, so I only got $6. But it made sure that I could do that and still pay the transport costs. My program doesn't let me cheat. Okay, anyway, moving along. Yellow is going to Kansas City, moving its engine. Yellow, only 1 space. Yellow has not hired any workers yet at all. It's going to Memphis for its first delivery, where it does get an objective tile. Red's moving 3 spaces for a change. Oh boy. Okay, it's a little bit short of the next. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Boy, it's killing me on Station Master tiles. This is what I was afraid of. I may have to hire some more engineers so I can move along at a faster clip. So let's go here. Now remember, I have a hand of 5 now. That's going to help with future deliveries. And I am going to discard a Guernsey for 2. And I'm going to hire an engineer for 5. Oh, and allows me to get another $2 for discarding a Jersey. And I have enough to buy another worker. Maybe I'll get a cowboy so I can get a better cow when I get to the cattle market. There is this cheap one still available. I think that's the one I'm going to grab, but I'm going to have to pay $7 for this, so it's going to leave me with $2 in my purse. Okay, yellow moving 2 spaces. Building a building, erecting a, what is that building? Can't tell at the moment. Red is taking a hazard. Didn't take note of how many spaces red moved. Looked like yellow built building 1B because it had a hand. It does give preference to hands, so now here I am. I'm going to have to pay a toll right out of the gate. And I do have money in my... I thought I had $2. Oh, what happened here? Oh, blue just paid me $2. So that got me up to... red just paid me $2 landing on my blue building. So that's why I have $4. Okay, well, I have no choice but to go here and pay $2 to yellow. Well, to the bank, actually. I don't think I want to build another building at this point. Let's go all the way up here and move my engine. Start by advancing my certificate. I'm going to need those temporary certificates to make sure I can deliver to high-valued cities. And now I'm moving my engine 3 spaces. 1, 2. So do I go down here for a train station, or do I keep pushing forward in hopes of overtaking red? Let's keep going. Oh, I have an objective card that I drew earlier. Yep, the one that got delivered to my hand. I am going to go ahead and play it. It's going to allow me to... come on, lock that. Oh, bug. I can't lock. It won't let me lock this, but it's going to allow me to move my my cattleman up to 3 spaces forward, ignoring hands, but not resolving my my location, the new location I land in. I'm not sure if I want to do that, though. I was planning to go to the cattle market, especially now that I see I have some Black Anguses in my hand. You know what? I'm going to play the objective. I'm not going to move my cattleman. I'm just going to stay put. So I'm not going to take advantage of that, and I'm just going to turn it over to yellow, who's moving 1 space and is erecting a building again. This time up in the north quarter along the woods. Red's moving 2 spaces, taking an objective card. Remember, every time an automa takes an objective card, that's more points that it automatically fulfills and will score at the end of the game. So that kind of hurts every time I see that happen. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm up here. Should I place more? Yeah, I do need another city to deliver to. I think I will place some more branchlets. So I'm going to go here. I will trade with the... Oh, or should I pay $2 to move my engine? Oh, I could get to the train station. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to have enough money to upgrade. It's not going to be worth it. Darn it. So I guess I'm trading with the Indians instead. Another green TP for $2. And I'm going to place some more branchlets. So should I go into Green Bay, or should I head towards San Francisco? Let's go to Green Bay. With a 5-card hand and 1 temporary certificate right now, I think I can get to Green Bay okay, hopefully. So let's go to Green Bay. Now, nothing really happens when I go here. It just allows me to deliver to Green Bay in the future. And then for my second branch, I'll grab another $2 down here in this town. Yellow moving 2 spaces. Placing a branchlet in San Francisco. Red moving 2 spaces. Taking a cow from the market. Took a brown Swiss. So it bases which cows it takes. Oh, it's delivering to Green Bay. Basically, it's kind of following the path I'm going to be taking. I should say, so when it goes to the cattle market, an Atoma has $6 to spend, and what it buys depends on the number of cowboys it has. I guess I should take a look here. It's not that hard. So it had one cowboy. So a 6 allows you, oh yeah, so a 6 allows you to get a 3. And I remember I took the last Ayrshire, so best it could do was take a Swiss. All right, anyhow, back to me. I guess I'll go back to the cattle market. I've got plenty of money, and I've got 2 cowboys this time around. But I don't have a Black Angus. Well, let's buy. And this time I guess I'm going to buy a brown. Have I bought a brown Swiss? I don't think I did buy a brown Swiss. Wow, all the West Highlands are gone. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy a brown Swiss. I can't remember what I bought now. I guess I only bought an Ayrshire. I think this is my second visit to the cattle market. Yeah, I skipped it last time. So this time I'll get a brown Swiss. Hopefully I'll have enough cowboys to move up to a West Highland, but at the moment there are no West Highlands. But in a moment, the job market token is going to cross this line and refill the cattle market, so that's good. So I will buy one brown Swiss worth 2 victory points. Can't discard a Black Angus. Yellow's moving 2 spaces. Paying me some bucks. Hiring a cheap worker from the 5 row. Red's moving 1 space. Red's placing a branchlet in this medium town. Oh, which would have allowed it to hire a worker at a discount, and I think it would have hired a worker normally. Oh, it didn't. Okay, I'll have to fix that later. So that was at least one bug. So I'm here, and I am going to move here. And I'm going to get rid of 2 jerseys up here, I think. Okay. Should I remove a hazard? There's nothing in the droughts. There's a $2 and a $2 flood, a $2 rockfall, and a $3 rockfall. I'm going to pass on the hazard at this point and save my money. Yellow moving 2 spaces to Kansas City. Hiring one of its specialty workers, which is a craftsman. Placing tiles. So the cattle market should have been automatically refilled. It delivered to Denver up here. Red is moving 1 space and is erecting a building. Actually, was that an upgrade? No, it erected building 1B. Okay. So now I know I have to go this way. This is a toll building. So what do I got? I got 3 Dutch belts. This is a pretty lousy hand. I do have an exchange token I can play again. Must have picked that up somewhere along the way. Oh, you know when I got that exchange token? When I just played this branchlet. You get an exchange token after your 6th branchlet is placed. So let's go here. How am I doing on my engine? Oh, I've got the money. I can get to the train station and get a tile, a station master tile. So yes. And For my disc, I'm going to go for trashing. So I'm going to go and have this disc played. And I have to, what am I getting Station Master wise here? Oh, 2 permanent certificates. That's going to be definitely nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is great. I will have an engineer go in the space. Now I can place some more branchlets, or should I trash a card? I got Dutch belts galore, so let's do some branchlets. So I'll get rid of two of my 3 Dutch belts. Let's make our way to Minneapolis. So this is going to give me an advance on my temporary certificate. So I'm at 2, and now I'm going to have to pay $1 to get placement in here into Minneapolis. Yellow moving 2 spaces. Building a building, adding 1 over here. Red moving 2 spaces. Hiring a cheap worker. Didn't see what it hired. Hired a cowboy. So it's going to be able to get better cows when it goes to the cattle market. Let's take a look at the cattle market for a second. It's not really should have. This is another bug as well. This display, it's not kind of displaying the cows correctly, but at least I have some West Highlands available again. Okay, back to me. So I'm up here. I've got a breeding value of 9, plus 2 is 11, potentially plus 2 is 13, which is enough to get me to Green Bay or Minneapolis. So I'm not going to waste my exchange token. I'm just going to go ahead and go directly to Kansas City. Do not pass go. I will not place this drought. I'll place a TP again. Engineer or cowboy? I think a cowboy for now. And I'll put out another TP. Oh yeah, what's this other objective? This was, oh yeah, 3, 4, 5. So I have a 3, I have 2 3s. I don't have a 4 or a 5 yet. I've got to get back to the cattle market for sure. And I am going to go all the way to Minneapolis and spend all my certificates. And I'm going to go ahead and increase my hand size to 6. Yellow moving 3 spaces along the trail. Placing a branchlet. Red moving 2 spaces. Hiring one of its specialty workers. That would be another engineer. And now it's got 4 engineers. And I'm back in Texas. And let's see. Well, I guess I better hire again. So let's stop here. I do have a couple of Guernseys, so I'll discard 1. I'll hire a worker, and I will get another cowboy to boost what I can get at the cattle market. So what's the cheapest cowboy here? Looks like $7 is the best I can do. Darn it. I could buy a craftsman, but I'm not really going big on craftsman, and I'm short a buck. Darn it. I guess I'm not buying another worker. Yellow moving 2 spaces. Hiring another craftsman. Red almost to Kansas City, placing a branchlet. Again in a medium town. Again, it should have built a building. Oh, you know what it is? Only the hard player That's not a bug. Only the hard player, or the hard automa difficulty, uh, executes medium town rewards, not normal. Normal gets station master tiles, but doesn't do medium towns, if I remember correctly. So that is not a bug. Okay, where am I going to go now? Well, I got to pay a toll. There's nothing along here, so I can get all the way. Yeah, let's go all the way up to neutral building C. Advance my certificate. And move my engine again up to, oh yeah, I'm one engineer short because I paid that engineer, so it's not going to get me to the next train station. Yellow moving one space, placing a branchlet. Red moving 2 spaces into Kansas City, taking a hazard. And where's it going to deliver? To Minneapolis? Nope, down here to Toronto. Okay. I'm a little bummed here. So what do? Got $8. There's a nice TP here, and I'm gonna keep with my strategy of placing branchlets. So I'm gonna go here, trade with the Indians. I don't care really what I get at this point, so I'm just gonna get the best one I can get. This one for $6, and another. I could trash a jersey. No, let's stick with my strategy. Let's go with double branchlet. I'll get rid of a Dutch belt and an Angus. And where am I going to go? Am I daring enough to get to Montreal? So I could go to Montreal. I'm not sure. Could start going to San Fran. What's this media? This one lets me build another building for free. Well, what the heck? All right, let's do that. I only have one craftsman, so it kind of limits my options. I could do cattle market. Or yeah, let's do the cattle market. And I will put it next to my other building up here in the woods. It's getting crowded. Yellow moving 2 spaces to Kansas City. Moving its engine a measly 2 spaces. Oh, I got upgraded a train station that time. And red's moving 4 spaces. Where did yellow deliver to? Memphis, Detroit, I think. What did red do? I'm sorry, I'm sort of not even concentrating. So yellow delivered to Detroit. Red just upgraded another train station. Oh, the one I had upgraded. Okay, so it's just getting it for the points at the end of the game, not for the Station Master tile, which is good for me. It increases my chances of getting this Station Master tile. Okay. Where am I going next? Yeah, I'm going to go back to the cattle market. Oh, I could have gone to my cattle market. Maybe I'll go to both. Well, let's discard an Angus. Buy cattle. I should be able to get a Longhorn this time. Oh, that's going to cost me 12. Let's get a Highland for the moment. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, yeah, I think this is my first Highland. I think I bought an Ayrshire or a Brown Switcher, which are both in my hand, and now I just bought a Highland. Okay, what is yellow doing? Yellow just either upgraded or erected another building, and red is moving its engine. Took another train station. Red does not have to put workers when it steals Station Master tiles. The Automa players don't have to do that. Okay. I'm kind of discouraged. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this one out, folks. Let's go here and here. Go to my own building, and I'll discard a Guernsey again. And I've got enough money. Should I spring for a Longhorn? I think I am. Hope that wasn't a mistake. Yellow moving 2 spaces. Hiring a cheap worker, which is probably, a craftsman for 6. Red moving 4 spaces. Paying me a toll. Placing a branchlet. In Memphis, of all places. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going this way to avoid the hand. If I go here, should I stop here is the question. Oh, I don't have another great city to deliver to because I'm not in San Francisco yet. I've got one temporary. I've got 3 certificates. I don't know. We're gonna have to stop here. I'll move my engine. Spaces. And maybe should I trash a Jersey right now? I'm going to go for more branchlets, I think. I have plans eventually to get to Montreal, I hope. So let's place in Montreal. And we better make our way to San Francisco. So I have to go from Chicago to here, and then up here, and then up here. So it's going to cost me 3 branchlets to get to San Francisco. Yellow moving 2 spaces, paying me the toll. Ooh, another building. Red moving 2 spaces to Kansas City, taking a cow. Brown Swiss. Just delivered to Minneapolis. Okay, what do I have? I've got 9. Oh boy, this looks like another exchange token. I've got 9, 10, 11, 12. That could be my worst delivery yet. I am definitely going to use my exchange token. All right, that's better. Let's get rid of one of the Guernsey. It doesn't really matter. So let's get rid of one of the Guernseys and one of the Jerseys. So now I'm at 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, crap. I didn't go to Toronto. 14 can get me, and that's not enough to even get to Pittsburgh. But it will get me to Cleveland. This is a lousy delivery. I wanted to do better than this. All right, we're going to, oh, shoot. Oh, no, I don't have to pay the hands. Ooh, got worried there for a second. TP. I'll put out an engineer. And the game's coming to a close quickly here. All right, best I can do is Cleveland. Shoot, I should have placed in Toronto for the points. I don't think I'm going to win this one. I'm going to save my temporary certificate for later. I'm going to hopefully get at least one more delivery. Let's go with increase my speed, my step count. Yellow 2 spaces. Red, 2 spaces. That was an awful delivery. Shoot, I should have gone to Toronto. That was a real big mistake on my part. I went from Montreal. I got greedy. Oh boy. Well, I've got a good hand here. I think I'm going to do a rush. So let's see. That means I have a step count of what? 5. 1. That's 6 of one, half dozen the other. 2, 3, 4. Man, 5. I wonder if I should have. I just got to get to the end of the trail as quickly as possible because time's running out here. A single auxiliary action. I think I'll. Should I go to Toronto, or should I trash a card? I guess I'm going to go to Toronto. Oh, wait a minute. I can't get to Toronto? Oh, I got to discard a card. Sorry. Get rid of the Dutch belt. And yes, I can get to Toronto. There's a track there. I should have been delivering to Toronto earlier. That's going to hurt me. That's what I get for rushing. Okay, yellow, where are you delivering to? Up to Milwaukee. Taking another objective. That's just grand. Red is down here at the bottom, taking a TP. Pretty valuable one, too. Okay, step count 5. We can get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got lots of money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Discard a Guernsey for 4. Let's just buy another Texas Longhorn. You know, should I get a Holstein? I don't know if I want to crowd my deck. I don't think I'm going to buy another card. I'm just going to stop there. I'm definitely getting one more delivery. I don't know about 2 yet. Yellow and red are down here early on the trail, which is good for me. I just hope I'm going to have a decent hand by the time I get to, what do I have now? I've got 13, 14, 15, 16. Boy, I gotta hope I can get an exchange token somewhere here. Actually, if I place 2 more branchlets, I will get another exchange token. So let's do that. So let's stop there. Move my engine. 2 spaces. Let's do a double branchlet. These are my last 2 branchlets now. Oh, and I guess I have to, oh, shoot. If I'm going to go to San Francisco, well, wait a second. I've got New York. Maybe I can just skip San Francisco's worth 2 VP per bell. So that's going to give me 10. Montreal's worth 20. Toronto's worth 5. New York is worth a Station Master tile, which could be worth some points depending upon which one I get. I think I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to get I'm going to go. Shoot! This means I'm not going to San Fran if I do this. But I feel like I need an exchange token as an insurance because right now I've got 13, 14, 15, 16. That's another lousy delivery. I need another 2 with breeding value. I'm going to go for an exchange token. Oh no! Can I not place there? Oh, I've got to discard a card. So let's get rid of a Dutch belt and an Angus. Oh, yeah, after I do this, I might get a better hand. Oh, so maybe I won't. Oh, so in that case, I'm going to forget the exchange token, and I'm just going to pray that my next two cards are good cards. Oh, no, I didn't mean to place there. Oh, shoot, I meant to place up here and go to San Fran. Well, what do you know? I'm not getting to San Fran. I just blew it again. I could go back and fix that, but I'm not going to. Let's just end this game once and for all. Red going to another train station, no doubt. Oh, nope, didn't make it. Okay, I got 14, 15, 16, 17. Don't tell me. All right, I'm spending an exchange. Get rid of an Angus and a Dutch belt. Now I can get to, now I've got 17, 18, 19, 20. I've got enough to get to Montreal. Great. So we're going this way and this way. And doesn't matter. I'll just put a TP out. And I'll stick with Cowboys. Stick with Cowboys. So I'm going to Montreal for the points. That kind of wipes me out. I'll increase my step value that for another 3 points at the end of the game. Now the question is, can I get there fast enough to get one more delivery in? Except that I screwed up and I didn't get to San Francisco. Oh, wait a minute! I didn't get. Oh, I didn't deliver to New York. Shoot. Maybe my last delivery is going to be to New York. I just got to get there fast enough. Okay, I've got 6 spaces, so I'm just going at top speed here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need the certificate. I'll move my engine 2 spaces. Let's go with the Station Master tile. Because I got to make sure I had 2. Remember, for my objective. I'm not upgrading a train station, not a Station Master tile. Sorry about that. I'm just helping my objective by upgrading a train station. Should I go here? I'm not going to get 4 temporary certificates. Let's go. I can't go here anymore. I'm out of branchlet, so let's go for a double trash. Although at this point in the game, it probably doesn't matter. Okay. As long as these guys go slow, I can get at least 1 more delivery, and I'll make it to New York. Red's going to definitely deliver. Okay. We're going to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's my hand? Not so great. I'm going to have to stop here and discard cards. This is, and hope to improve my hand. I do have an exchange token left. Should I go all the way here? Oh, man. Yellow's going to go slow. I think I could beat Yellow I'll beat Yellow to Kansas City, so I'm going to stay here. I'm going to discard 2 Guernseys. I hope this is good. Should I get another hazard? I've got lots of money. 2, a 2, a 2, 2, 3. Oh, there's a 4, so I'm going to go ahead and spring for that. I need every few points I can get. I didn't see what my hand looked like. Yellow's only moving 2 spaces. That's good. Red's going to go to Kansas City. Delivering to New York. He's taking a Station Master tile. Okay, what do I have? I have a lousy hand. 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's go here. Stop off. Let's move my engine. Not that it really matters at this point. And I'm going to do a double trash just to get rid of the jerseys. All I had to do was discard them. It doesn't really matter what I do here. So I've got to move my engine backwards 2 spaces. And we'll just trash the 2 jerseys and hope to God I get 2 good cards here. Oh, I got a Longhorn, so that's good. Okay, yellow didn't make it to Kansas City. Red's down in Texas. So I'm going to get the job market token, and that'll help. That 2 extra points can't hurt. So I've got 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh my God, it's not enough to get to New York. I've got to spend my last exchange token. Oh crap. So one of the Longhorns gets discarded, one of the Dutch Belts. But I've got it now. I've got 17, 18, 19, 20. Enough to get to New York. So we're going to get to Kansas City via this route. Okay, that triggers the end of the game. I will go to New York. This is my last delivery, so I'm just going to blow everything. And it doesn't really matter. And I do get so I got to pick something here that's going to give me some points. I have not gone strong on buildings. That's worth 2 points. 1 point per worker. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 points. 3 points per pair of TPs. Oh, I wish I knew so that's 3 points as well. I'm not going to get another TP though. Oh, I wish I had known that. Well, it's worth another certificate too. I'm just going to grab that. I don't think I'm going to win though. I think I'm going to get beaten out by red. Last turn of the game. Red won with a score of 98, so my score was 91. So I got 8 points for cash on hand, my 2 private buildings, my cities, my train stations, which probably includes, no, that's just the 5 points for the 2 train stations. Hazards, I collected a bunch of hazards along the way, the 2 4-pointers. My 5 points for my value 3 cattle, my 5 points for the West Highland. I bought 2 Texas Longhorns. So I got 8 points for my 2 objectives, 3 points for my starting, and 5 for that 3, 4, 5 card objective. Station Master tile, that's the 3 points from the pair of TPs. I never hired enough workers to get a bonus there. I got 3 points from my speed disc and 2 points from the job market token. I lost by 7 points. Red probably won based on objectives alone. 23 points from objective. Oh, that's yellow. Red, 25 points from objectives. 9 points from train stations, 22 from cities. Oh well, it was close. Not bad. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. If you have any questions or comments or saw any other bugs, please make a note of them in the comment section. Good to be back. Bye for now.